For the first time in American public education, a set of national standards called the Common Core are set to radically change the way K through 12 students learn and are taught. California is among 46 states and the District of Columbia to adopt the new guidelines. Joining me with further details is San Diego State's interim dean of the College of Education, Dr. Joe Johnson. Welcome.
Thank you.
So these national sets of standards, they seem radically different from previous years of public education and how things were taught. Why the change in how students should learn math, English, and whatever else?
I think that there's a couple of reasons. One is that prior to now, states have all adopted their own sets of standards, and in many cases there's been an understanding that there are differences. Levels of expectation vary. Another reason is that there is still the gnawing concern that students in our country are not being educated to the level that we see in some other countries throughout the world. But then also there's the concern that in many fields of endeavor, if students are going to be successful in careers, they have to be able to think and apply information at deeper levels than is currently the case.
Certainly, I understand the Common Core focuses more on critical thinking, collaborative skills, entrepreneurial types of thinking. Give us an example of how this might look in the classroom, as opposed to, let's take a math problem that before maybe a teacher would say, do it this way. Now under this Common Core, what would that look like now?
So instead of just knowing how to solve for X, which might have been the case when I was in school, now students are going to maybe need to explain, well, why does this work this way, and what are the implications for X, and how might this make sense in the real world, and how might I use this information to solve real problems?
I understand there's group work, and there's, if you can solve a math problem with diagrams and graphs, this has to be new to teachers as well. You can't just say, oh, here, memorize this page. So
Absolutely.
How are teachers being prepared to teach sort of this new way of teaching?
Sure. So there are a lot of efforts, both pre-service, so for instance within our College of Education, as well as in service in terms of professional development for existing teachers, that are helping teachers deepen their content knowledge, because in order to teach this more rigorous content, you've got to own the content yourself, but also these professional development efforts are helping teachers think about how they can teach children to these deeper levels of understanding.
Now, we know some other students in other classrooms in other states have already been using this. How are they doing so far?
I think that there is a general recognition that this isn't easy, that it's not simply a matter of stating the standards, having everybody know that this is what we want children to learn, and then presto, everybody is on board and ready to go. So,
where are the curriculums coming from? Are the teachers developing themselves? Is there some guidance from the core, from the federal government saying, or the national committee that did this, I should say, saying here are some curriculum examples. Here's how you can teach math in a new way.
There are a lot of examples out there. There's a lot of resources out there, but it's not necessarily centralized, and so different systems, meaning different states, different school districts, even different schools, are coming up with their path to help teachers get there and to help students achieve success with these new standards.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just as creative for the teachers as perhaps for the student. What are some of the concerns here in San Diego? I know there's some schools here that have been early adopters of this. Are you hearing concerns about, we don't want you to experiment on our children? I don't know what the word is yet.
Well, I think that there are a lot of educators who recognize that this is a worthwhile pursuit, that we want our students to have that deep understanding of content. But at the same time, teachers are understanding that this isn't a quick fix, that it requires a lot of collaboration among teachers as they work on these things, and it requires a level of resource that maybe we haven't fully come to understand that needs to be in place.
Well, I'm sure we'll be learning our lessons and checking back on them as this progresses. Dr. Joe Johnson, thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.